settled in here. Hey guys, girls, folks, I'm Captain Eddie Castelin. Welcome to my shop. You really are welcome here. If you're ever in the New Orleans area, I'm 2 miles outside of New Orleans in a little town called Jefferson, Louisiana. I'm not too far from what a lot of folks associate. Pardon me, the mastery of Jefferson is the Ochsner Hospital is about 2 miles that way, right there. And they run this whole corridor. Beautiful. They're decorating it all up to make those people happier, which is great with me, because it's my neighborhood too. But we're here, and if you need to come by, give me a call. Let me know you're in town, you want to come by. Most days I'm here. Medical things take me away, but most days I'm here. And as anybody would tell you, I need a shrink as much as the next guy does. I need visitors as much as the next guy does. I got to talk to you about something. It's real important. So what I want you to do right now is watch. Hey, I'm going to talk about lathes for a minute, because this is a ever-growing, ever-maturing event. You know, I really can't, I don't have the words to put that together. Most of you guys are like me. You were in your 60s before you got the turning. I was in my late 50s. But got the turning, and it became a hobby. After I retired, it became a passion. And I was doing 2 classes at night on the internet. And I'm going to go back to that one day. I still have the computer out here. We've looked at the possibilities. And I do understand I can do some with my iPad and Facebook and other things like that. So we can go back to doing some classes live, one-on-one, show you some things. You can be involved. It works for a lot of folks. It worked for us wonderfully for 2 to 3 years before I got sick. I want to go back to it again. Get this. I don't remember how or where it's at. I got to get my old computer back from my baby granddaughter, and she will show me where it's at and how to hook up to it. It's a learning experience for all of us. But I get a lot of guys that call me and contact me about a lathe. And they'll say, I got this Harbor Freight lathe, and it seems to be pretty good, and it's jumping all over the shop. I got this thing from Sears. Trust me, I was like the rest of the nation. I always had something from Sears. Got this thing from Sears, and the headstock moves, and it vibrates, and then I'm getting this and this and this. Then I got this other one from my grandfather, and it's as old as a sled. It's a big steel thing with a motor and a bunch of step pulleys. What's the better one? Here's the deal, folks. If it spins wood, it's usable. If it spins wood easily, it's even more usable. If it spins wood like a dream, like my one-way 2436, then you are in heaven. Now, this is probably my 10th lathe, the 2436. And I've had the Save-A-Lot stores. I've had a lathe I bought there for $52. I had a mini jet I bought for a guy for $50. I had a Sears with the tube stock. The only thing wrong with that Sears with the tube stock is the screws that hold that tube in, they get worn and they move. I told you before, you pick the thing up, you take those 2 screws out, you put 2 larger screws in it so it doesn't move, and you put it back down, you got rid of the chatter. Sears can't tell you to do that, because that just tells you that your machine's made wrong. But I've had Deltas, Milwaukees, Jets, Powermatic, Woodfast, now the one-way. Sort of that went in order. Now, what was I looking for? When I first got started, I was looking for something that would turn a pen mandrel and turn a pen or a bottle stopper or a key ring. First key ring I ever made, my granddaughter took it 20 years after I made it out of my front door. That was project number 1. And I turned it using sharpened screwdrivers and chisels, because I couldn't find the tools to do it with here locally. You ran across that, right? Okay. Guess what? I want, yeah. You got me. I bought a set of tools. Now go ahead, nail me to the cross. I mean, listen, I really caved in and bought a set of tools. And I know you've probably done that too. It's a learning curve. You made the mistake. It's all right, you'll get over it. If I had to go back to what I was doing, I would buy a 3/8 inch deep fluted bowl gouge, a skew, and a roughing gouge. And I get all three of those from Dave at D-Way Tools, d-waytools.com. Family event, family business, quality people. I would get those tools and then add what I need. Because a lot of times you get these kits, they have a fingernail gouge in them. They're not ground right, they're not sharpened right, and they're really weak material. There's no standard for steel, so they will dull. Then you get this big gouge, and people think, I got a big gouge, I can do big work. I can eat an elephant with a tablespoon. You don't have to have a big tool to do a big job. Okay? You don't. So, get the select part of items you need in that tool list. Get those. But the lathe is what we started at. Now, the Sears I liked. The Sears was a full-length bed, and I cut it down to just hold the pan and maybe some odds and ends, because I kept it on one side of my shop for odds and ends and other kinds of things. Worked really great. I cut the tube off, I fixed it, put it on its own dedicated stand. I wore that lathe out. Wore it out. And I knew a guy in our club, a fella that I've been knowing since high school. He wore his out too. And we arranged to get him another lathe, my wife and I. Because that was part of the man's life, his world. And he couldn't do it on his own. But it spun wood. It did really well. Now the little mini jet I bought, I love that. I gave it to a friend of mine. We made 2 extensions for the bed. I made them in my welding shop. And he has turned pole sticks on it. Now he does them in sections, so they're only 35, 40 inches long each. But he gets them. He details them, carves them, fills them in with super glue to put a coating on them, and it's awesome work. Here's a guy that can go out, he can barely stand for 15 minutes at a time. He can go out and get on his little bicycle wheel, his little bicycle seat, and get up by the lathe and shave it and do it and cut it and spend a little time. That's his life. He really likes it. It was a mini jet. Really fine piece of equipment. Now get this. There must be 10 or 20 of those knockoff copies of the mini jet out there in the world. Everybody's cataloging their brother puts one out and they put a name on it. The Rocket Lathe, the Power 3, the whatever. If it's normally 10 by 14, 10-inch throw, 14 spindle. And that's what that means. And that is a mini lathe. Now, a lot of them come with the little half horsepower motor on it, and that's one speed, one time, on, off. And the change speeds, you got to move the step pulleys in the headstock, move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to get from high speed to low speed. Or most of them will work with an adapter, with a variable speed adapter that you can buy. It's a new motor and a power drive. And I'm explaining this because you can't put a power drive on a brushed motor that's a little half horsepower motor. At least I don't know you can. And I had an engineer tell me, yeah, you can do this and this and this. Yeah, but for $99 I can buy the whole package and put it on there, and it works great. And I go from 0 to 3,000, or 0 to 2,000, or 0 to 1,000, depending on where I got the pulley set at. And what's beauty about that is I will run it on the 2,000, and as soon as I get it round, I'll crank it Z up. Oh, a friend of mine told me that one time. When you get it spinning, spin it. I crank it Z up, then I can use the highest speed to get better cutting and better fitting. But I don't have to move pulleys and belts and all this other stuff. Just twist a knob. When I want to sand, we're way down on it. Way down. Why? Sanding is done best slow speed. With a disc, with a handheld, with a strap of paper, sanding is done best with slow speed. You don't burn the wood, you don't burn the paper, you don't clog things up. Sanding with slow speed. But you can take that lathe, you can buy an extension for it and do, and everybody's extensions work on it. You can do longer pieces if you want. But if you're looking to do hobbies and kits and stuff that comes out of PSI, which is Penn State Industries, or craft supplies, Woodturners, something.com. When you get the kits in these, they'll tell you what bushing you need, what bearing you need, what adapters you need, and all that. And just keep the catalog. All that information's in the catalog. So when you get to the shop and you got to figure it out, if you got a micrometer, you can figure out what your pieces are. I got boxes full of bushings. And if I need a bushing, I found what it works. I don't buy a new one every time I get a pen kit. I just find it works. And if you keep your rights about you, that's all you need. So, all right, we went back to the basic lathe. I'm talking like a jet. It's a 1014. You can get about half a dozen other people. All those lathes are made about the same. They all use cheap bearings. They all use the same pulley systems. They all have the same belt. As soon as you get the lathe, see what size belt it is, make a note of it, and order one. Oh, don't call Jet. Don't call Powermatic. Don't call no. Go to the hardware store and tell the guy at the hardware store, I need 2L1488. If that's your number. I need that. It's a fan belt. He can get it off the rack and give it to you for about 1/4 of the price that you pay for it if you ordered it. Really. Really. Then when the bearings wear out, because they will, because they're not made to go through it, you're going to put them through, and you are going to do that, you can knock the bearings out with wooden followers, knock them out. Sound like you change your bearings in your front end of your old Dodge. You take the bearing, just like it is, to the bearing supply house nearby. Mine's on a corner down there. Mine's on a corner across the street from the hardware store. Get that. Take it in there and say, I need a bearing this size. Do not go in and say, I need a bearing just like this. Because the guy's going to say, why you won't put that junk in your motor? That's trash. That's garbage. All right. I'll be as nice as I can. It is trash. It is garbage. He'll have his medium line bearings will be better than their top line bearings. And don't have to go crazy over it. Just say, well, step me up a notch or two. And then you press them back in. You don't need a press on. You need a block of wood. You clean it out really good. You tap the block of wood and make it go back in. You put it all back together again. And you've changed the bearings. So the motor for the speed, the bearings for the vibration, and the lathe is the right size, and you're home free. And it weighs about 55 pounds on the stand, which means most of us can lead it into the trunk of a car, or get a buddy to come over and put it back in the pickup truck, or go set it up at a craft fair someplace, because it doesn't burn a lot of power, and it works out fine. So when you go looking for a lathe, look at all the options. Yeah, I'd look at eBay, I'd look at Amazon.com, I'd look at the local sites for tools, and then I'd shop the retailers just doing wood turning stuff, the Woodcraft, and there's some other people like that. Shop them too, but keep in mind, no matter whose small lathe you're buying, it's not going to live forever. And if you find one that you can be happy with and it will have all the accessories and be convertible, then you'll be happier. And one more thing I gotta add, once you get it, get a good live center. Don't have mine up here. I saw it laying over there this morning. Gotta get it out of there, because I backed up the tailstock and went right to the floor. But you need a good live center. I like, One Way makes one that's awesome, but Jet makes one that's black painted. It's got 3 bearings in it, got a cone, got a point and all that. That's a good that's a good centerpiece. Get a good centerpiece. Don't use this burn-in wood thing or the little chibi bearing one and wonder why I'm getting chatter, I'm getting movement, and I don't line up and all that. Get a good center and get it right. Okay. Well, that's it. I had to tell you a little something about lathes. And oh yeah, if you see this on in another video, here's the deal. Rod gave me the hat because I'm a Vietnam veteran and I was in the Air Force. And I was in a part of the Air Force that made all the rest of them worthwhile. And I was a bomb dumper. I was the bomb dumper. That's right. If it wasn't for us, all they had was airplanes. They had to come get the bullets and the weapons from us. We made them worthwhile. That's my stand. I'm sticking to it. Even though they wouldn't give us a raincoat, we gave them bullets. All right. Ryan did that, and I bought like 40 of these long sleeve, oversized t-shirts for wearing around the house and the shop. So you might catch me again in the same t-shirt, same outfit, same thing. Every time we get together, I try to add a little something. The goal is get things done right so you can go out in your shop, start making shavings. And if I can help you with anything, tools, cutting bars, jigs, templates, any of that, go to my website. Address is on. It's either on that end or that end of the tape. But it's going to show up in a minute. You take care and be good.